Thank you so much for joining me for this Beer Fest tournament rookie walkthrough video. In this video, I'm going to walk you through all the shots we're going to use on this legendary Eagle Peak course. Now, don't forget you will need to play this course according to your clubs, your balls, and your skill level. I can't play the shot for you, and I don't know what club you've got in your bag. So, this is a guide to help us get our notes started so we can have a great tournament and show up ready on day number 1 to perform and to shoot a great score. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that like button so you don't miss out on any of my future content. Let's get into the video. Hole number 1 here on the Eagle Peak course for this Beer Fest tournament. Max top, max right, and we're just basically going to crush it down the right-hand side. Now, this is actually not my very favorite way to play this hole. I'm going to show you a much better way right after this, but I know everybody or many people are going to want to take this path, so I want to give you an idea of what the possible outcome would be if you're playing this with kind of what I consider, average-ish rookie level clubs, extra mile 6 and a Titan ball. You can certainly bring a Zerk for something like this, but to give you an idea here, you do have a shot up and over that tree. Now, there's quite a bit of slope in the back side of the screen, so the idea for me at the time of this recording was to give it max backspin and allow the slope at the back of the green to draw that ball back to the hole. Bottom line is you need a little bit more backspin, I would say, to get that best effect. I would think you're going to be better off here to bounce it down on the fairway and kind of go right at it. So you see how we're just pointing it right at the hole. I think this is going to be a little bit more realistic for most players. And if you're going to take the right-hand path, which I don't recommend, then, this is going to be a sort of an easier way to approach this pin. So good luck, 10% max on the drive and the second shot. Just a little less backspin, we still have got it. All right, so hole number 1 here. I'm playing it on the left side through the trees. Max top, max left, and I'm definitely using a side spin 3 here ball, such as a katana. I think this is very important. And you want that second bounce just past the shadow on the rough still. You're going to basically rough bump it out onto the fairway. Now, while we're finishing this shot, we're not going to use any overpower. I'm adjusting 20% max. You might say, Matt, but what about playing it down the middle? I know. Pro, expert, master, you've got a lot of backspin on that sniper, and using that backspin shot to the green really is a good opportunity. Here in rookie, I am not expecting most players to have a sniper 10, so I think this is a very smart and safe play. So 20% max there on the drive, and you should give yourself a beautiful, clear shot to the green with your second shot. Second shot here, as you can see, I'm playing it at 10%. Now, because of the setup, I've played this one at 10% max. You could argue you're more in mid position here, but the outcome really is the bottom line. I'm playing this one actually with no spin. If you have a little bit of a different wind setup here, you may need to use a little bit. So take that into consideration. And with this level 7 backbone, I have the top right corner of that red ring touching the rough as a little bit of a indicator for me of my landing position. Perfect ball. And you know what? This is just straight at it, bouncing over that bunker there. Gives you a good chance to get that eagle to start the tournament off on the right foot. Looking forward to it. We'll see you on the course. Hole number 2, par 3. This is another excellent chance for a drop. I'm bringing my sniper here and a katana ball, and we're making a 30% max adjustment. Half a bar of top spin, max right spin here. There's a little funnel. You want to wiggle that ball guide back and forth, and you'll sort of feel it at that second bounce on the ball guide. You should see it just before the fringe. And I do have the tip of my ball guide just favoring the right-hand side of the cup here. This one is a really, really good opportunity as far as par 3s go. So I do think you're going to see a lot of people getting a drop here, and I want you to be one of them. So good luck. I'll see you on hole number 3. Hole number 3 is our first par 5. I've got an extra mile and a Titan here. Max top, and like a bar or 2 of right spin, depending. If you can get it over here, it's something we're absolutely going to do. But in headwind, depending, especially if you don't want to use a power 5 ball, you might have to just bounce it over the rough here, depending on what you got. But get it down as far as you possibly can. It'll give you a chance to use a long iron. And if not, don't sweat. You can still play this shot with a wood club. club. Now, it is good to play it with the wood, especially if you've got a high level one with lots of backspin. However, on this account, I don't have that kind of thing. So I set it up with lots of power on the drive so that I could use the max backspin of the Saturn here, try to play it within this fairly short landing position. The thing is that bunker there kind of limits your play in front of the green. You do have to use the back slope of the green and backspin here to really have a chance to get the Albie. Obviously, many players are going to take an eagle here, and that is just fine. But I'm trying to help us get the best possible outcome. So 15% max I adjusted here, and you're just going to have to hope that the wind plays well in our favor and that you just don't hit the pin. Not bad, but you know what? I hope we get it in the tournament. If you're getting value from this video, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Erlich Gaming so you don't miss out on my future Golf Clash content. Let's get back to the video. Welcome to hole number 4. This par 3, it's kind of difficult. I'm setting it up with the katana ball and a backbone. I give it 2 top, 3 right. The top right corner of that red ring I have touching the rough, and you'll see that second bounce just before the fringe, but it is offset a couple of green squares to the left of the flag. You're going to want to have a zoom in there and just really take careful note of where we're positioned. However, that red ring is pretty helpful. So then, as you can see, we're even adjusting this shot into headwind, and it works out pretty darn good. I play it the same way with tailwind, but you might just have to lay off the top spin a little bit. So clean, perfect shot, and you know what? This one is a good opportunity. It's a bit finicky, but I know we can make this shot when it counts. Good luck. We'll see you on hole number 5. Hole number 5 is a par 4 that's all about the drive. So having good wind here is really everything. Kingmaker ball, max top, and about 2 bars of side spin with the current side spin values. And as you can see, I've got that yellow ring set up at rest, halfway splitting the rough and the fairway. So we're going to make our adjustment, 10% max, and we're pushing it back up. This is very important. All the way back up. Good. Now we're going to give this baby max over power. And I've got like just a tiny little bit of right curl here. This is very wind dependent, but generally speaking, the idea here is we want to crank this ball and bounce it up and past that middle fairway tree patch, if you will, and roll it down this very steep hill to give ourselves a lovely green side chip. I know you can do it, and I hope that we can give ourselves a good position on this hole, because really and truly, this is kind of one of those must-make par 4s. Especially in, the way Rookie plays these days. People have a lot of top spin. They're going to be bringing their, crazy Thor's hammers and stuff, which is not a bad club if you have it in a higher level. So all the best. I hope you get those drops here, and I'll see you on hole number 6. Hole number 6 is a par 5 that's really a great opportunity for Albatross. Max top, about 1 bar of right spin, and I'm bringing an extra mile and a Titan. This is a beautiful tailwind. You're just going to grip it and rip it. If we get some kind of cross tail headwind, something like that, I'll absolutely consider bringing a Kingmaker or a Zerk here, whatever it takes to get it down and over onto the second fairway and a nice way down that second fairway. See, we're rolling. This is where you want to be. Now, second shot, we're playing a rough bump. Yes, David, that means you too. 15% mid is what I play this shot at. Checking the notes, we got 3 top here on this shot. Now, the reason I say this is a safe play is because I'm playing it quite far back. You can see how I've got that clear ring lined up in there and just barely clipping into the fairway. So lots of room to work with here. No fine margins. Just a great opportunity for a drop. And the lovely thing as well is even if you don't drop it here, there's a big green for it to roll out onto. We should be just fine. I hope. Fingers crossed. We got this, baby. Come on now. We'll get it. We'll drop it. We'll see you on hole number 7. Hole number 7, par 3. This is a very difficult hole. I know I'm playing with a Titan ball, but do bring a katana. Tested in practice. Works just fine. 4 backspin, max right. Take a screenshot right there. We've got to have that second bounce in the same row, the same green square row as the hole. Okay, and I've got it 4 squares to the right of the fringe. So that's important. And you also want to make sure that we give this a little bit of right curl. The curl is everything here and is part of what makes it so difficult. Because of this right to left wind, I didn't give it quite enough right curl. But as you can see, this is a very repeatable and makeable shot. So I'm going to stick with this in all winds here on hole number 7. Look at it just trickling down. There's other ways to do it, but I think this is going to work out very well for me. Good luck. The par 4 8th hole is played with a big topper and a marlin. I set it up just before this bunker with maximum topspin and 1 bar of left spin. Now, you see how there's these little gaps between the trees? You can definitely play it to the left larger gap, but don't go too far over. There's a bunker down there. That's why I like to play it between this teeny tiny little gap. Now, I'm adjusting this at 10% minimum distance. As you can see, we're right at min. Now, 5.0 is really the highest wind we're going to see. So anything less than that is going to be a little bit easier to adjust there. And really, this is a bit of an interesting shot. You can play a more of a curl shot off on the right. There's a few ways to do this, but I like getting it down here and giving us a very straightforward and simple little wedge here. So I bring the end bringer when at all possible, but in this account, I only have a Firefly. But you're going to see that I am using that end bringer method exactly the same with the Firefly, and you know what? It seems to work pretty darn good for me. Firefly is a little bit less forgiving if you hit a great shot, so don't do that. It's in the notes now. Hit perfect, okay? And if you do that, this 8th hole really is an excellent opportunity to get us another eagle. Eagle Peak is going to be a very low-scoring affair, so bring your A game. Let's get those booms. We'll see you on the final hole. Hole number 9, par 5, as per tradition. I'm bringing a Zerk and a big popper. Give this one maximum top spin, 1 little measly bar of right spin. And the nice thing about using a Zerk here is you don't need to use any overpower on your drive. Well, especially with wind like this. If you have a headwind, yeah, you might have to compensate a little bit. But all in all, this is a great setup. I'm giving it like a tiny little smidgen just because I couldn't help myself. But you're bouncing it over this first strip of rough, and we just want to make sure not to encounter that bunker on the left. Be a little bit too friendly, and yeah, just does it. I really like if you're going to use a big topper, you really don't want to use overpower unless you have a massive amount of fairway to work with. So second shot here, I'm playing this 3 top, 1 left, and a little bit of a 10% max sniper rough bump to end it off in dramatic fashion. Now, as you can see here, this is a favorable wind to work with, but I've got half that red ring cutting the rough, which helps us to prevent any errant great balls from getting us in too much trouble. And don't forget, it's a massive green here. There's tons of room to work with. So even if you were to completely hit and miss that rough, I don't think you're going to be in trouble because there's a big slope at the back of the green that should save you, have you rolling on back. But I want to see you line it up, knock it down, and get yet another boom for the Beer Fest tournament. Good luck, everybody. We'll see you out there. Thank you so much for watching.